Well, KTM have just finished their launch day and they've had media sessions that luckily we were able to attend. We got to speak to the riders, management, and there's a lot to unpack from today's proceedings because there has been plenty of talk, as you know, over the winter with KTM, the financial situation, how it affects the racing side of things, and also just the land and the state of the company and how they're going to progress going forward. Now, have you seen recently there has been a number of hearings with creditors and agencies looking at the debt? It doesn't look good when you read the figures. It's over 2 billion in debt for KTM's Pure Mobility Group as a whole. But we got to speak to Beirer, especially today. It just finished about 25 minutes ago with the media, and he confirmed a few things. He confirmed that KTM are full steam ahead in 2025 with their MotoGP project. Essentially, things are still as normal. There will be cutbacks in certain areas, but the big key thing is he said that they're working on a 2027 MotoGP bike. That project, of course, when the rule regulations change for MotoGP's next era, and that's only really a year and a bit away, which is quite scary when you think about it. But he confirmed that the team are working on that project, and yeah, they're just waiting for the regulations to be fully confirmed. So really, it's a positive thing when you hear the motorsport director, who, like I say, has been the figurehead of KTM. He's led them in their MotoGP project from the beginning. It's assuring for that side of it, but like I say, he did mention that there's another meeting in February with the creditors and the agencies involved, and they'll get a clearer picture then of understanding just what is the state of play. But the issue, the 2025 will go ahead as normal, and the riders that they have, that he believes is the best that they've ever had, and the best rider lineup in MotoGP across all the brands. So yeah, they are really excited to see what Pedro Acosta, Brad Binder, Maverick Vinales and Enea Bastianini can do. Speaking about the riders, we got to speak to Pedro Acosta first, and he was really saying the same thing as pretty much all of them, that winning is the best way to kind of help KTM in this situation. And after a rookie season that promised so much, got the sense that Acosta felt very different today. He looked older, but he sounded more confident. There was a lot more of a calmness to him, and he knows the job that he has to try and get KTM to the front of MotoGP. Brad Binder, pretty much the same. He said that on paper, when you look at it, really, Ducati looked like they're far ahead, but he says the gap isn't that big, and he believes that KTM can claw it back. But of course, it's due to a number of factors. Can KTM sort out the vibration problem that they had with the rear tire, the new Michelin rear tire that was brought in 24? That remains to be seen. We'll see that in testing. Well, pretty much tomorrow from shakedown testing. I believe KTM riders will be out there testing away. But yeah, Enea Bastianini and Maverick Vinales, of course, the newbies to KTM, the Tech 3 setup. And by the way, we haven't even got into the bike liveries yet. We'll discuss that in a moment. But they kind of said the same thing. Enea touched on how the KTM felt different to the Ducati. It surprised him in certain areas. Maverick was pretty much the same. He talked about how he's went from Suzuki, Yamaha, Aprilia, now to KTM. And he is so fired up. I got the sense from Maverick that he really is going to thrive in the factory setup that they have. You know, 4 riders, same machinery. He wants to be the leader. He said that he wants to be the guy that's leading the way for KTM. So there's plenty of promise there, I think, from the riders' side. The key is here, how can KTM steady the ship? And I think they did a good job today of trying to assure everyone that the racing is a part of their DNA. Pit Beirer said it to us that racing has to go ahead with the company because they believe it's the best thing for marketing. And you've seen how successful they are in off-road. You've seen the MotoGP and the track success they've had in the lower classes as well. That was also brought up about KTM. Potentially, that there might be in the future a reduction of machines in their Moto 2, Moto 3 projects, but they want to be involved heavily as ever. And that's even if there's a new Moto 3 regulation change in the future. KTM and Honda, I believe there's talks about being a single manufacturer class, so only being one brand there. But KTM said if that was the case, they would love to be that one brand in a Moto3 class. So yeah, they are quietly optimistic, I'd say. And then we have the liveries, of course, the things that fans always want to see. I mean, they're pretty much identical. I was told that last year when they said they were going to go for full factory bikes, they would all look the same. There's only one real difference between the Tech 3 and the factory KTM. It's pretty much a Mobile 1 sticker or a Motul sticker that you'll see on screen here. The Tech 3 has the Motul red, and the factory KTM bike that Pedro Acosta and Brad Binder ride has a Mobile 1 sticker. So that's easy for fans to spot. Other than that, the bikes are pretty much identical. And yeah, KTM, they're in a situation, they have been open about it. I think it's going to be something to keep an eye on next month because, like I say, there's an important meeting in February that will determine how the company is going to go about the next phase. You know, they've entered self-administration, key figures have left in management, and they're answering the questions today really for the first time from the media since before Christmas. So yeah, Beirer said it was like an explosion obviously when it first broke. They kind of got a sense that after the summer break that things maybe weren't all good on that front in terms of the finances. But when it happened in December, of course, it was a shock. But they're dealing with it as best as they can. And that's the key message, I think, from today and how KTM are going to manage really the situations that they have in the future. And yeah, let's get to track action. Sepang shakedown test is the next few days. Then we've got the official Sepang test. We'll see how all the KTM riders go. And yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm sure you're excited for it. And let us know what you think of KTM's situation in the comments. Interesting that their positivity shone today. I got a sense of that. I'd be interested to see what you think of the riders' comments from the interviews that we've seen. The riders all seemed pretty upbeat. They didn't really say it affected them in the off season. And yeah, I'm excited to see how the factory dynamic works with Tech 3 and the factory KTM teams. I think they're going to be a real surprising factor, I think, this year. I think if they can solve the rear tire problem, they will be up there again fighting for victories. I can guarantee it. Let us know what you think in the comments, like I say. Subscribe if you're brand new to the channel. And until next time, we'll see you then.